Okay, hello, welcome everyone to our first Survivor podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm Mrryanwayne.
I'm Joe King, and here we are talking about some Survivor stuffs.
Yep.
Getting ready for Survivor Season 39, Island of the Idols.
Yes. Now, what this basically the gimmick of this season is that we have two Survivor legends, Sandra and Boston Rob, are going to be mentors for these 20 new contestants that are playing the game for the first time. And so there's going to be like an exile island kind of deal where one castaway will be sent to Idol Island and they will get to pretty much get info from these key players, probably bounce ideas off what to do in the game and everything.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. It's like,
Well,
it seems like you should just get those players and let them play. Because
I feel like because returning players, when they have like big, or when you have two returning players, when it comes to like it's like two players and let's say 18 other new players. It's always interesting to see how it goes because there have been seasons where like one goes home early and the other one makes runner up or wins the whole thing.
But like, does the season really need Boston, Rob, and Sandra?
I feel like maybe if they did it as a reward, like they did with Game Changers,
Yeah, with Cochran. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it could be a different dynamic because one thing that makes it different from the Cochran thing is that both these players will know what's going on in the game as well. So, like, let's say Vince, who we'll talk about later, goes and he's saying like, oh, the one tribe is, think they're plotting against him, and then later on, let's say Karishma goes over and is like, oh, is trying to get rid of, Vince. Then both Sandra and Boston Rob are in a position of like, what information should I tell this one? They might pick favorites as a result because.
But isn't that bad? That can be a thing that can happen in Survivor.
That could be.
Where an outside force is interfering with the game in a huge way.
It might be. I guess we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Now, another subject with the two players coming back as mentors is, will the mentors enter the game?
I don't think they will.
Nor do I. Mostly because it's 20 castaways, 20 new people. Now, if it was 18 or 16, I could probably see it. But seeing how it's already 20, which is the most they've ever had on a season.
Yeah, it would also be bad if they came in back even after just the first challenge or whatever. Because then, they've already gotten through,
I know Big Brother did something similar season 15 or so. 14. And basically what they did was they had 4 returning players be mentors for 12 players, and then like halfway through, right before the big merger, they were like, all right, so, or they don't have merger, make it to the jury. They were like, okay, so America, you can vote whether or not these will be they'll be playing the game, and then lo and behold, they were in the game. But
I hope that doesn't happen.
No, I feel like it should stick to its morals, especially when we approach like endgame when it comes to the merge. It'll be interesting to see that dynamic because, in a way, they're kind of playing too, or like they can help fabricate who wins and loses.
Yeah, and honestly though, looking at the cast list, I do kind of understand why they have Sandra and Boston Rob, because I don't think that the cast jumps out as it does in other seasons.
Well, I mean, I feel some of them do, but I mean, we got a lot of players that are, I feel, going to be, strategic, like powerhouses where they're like, all right, I'm here to play and I'm here to win. And we have other players that we actually have 2 players that are both personal injury lawyers.
Exactly.
Which it's going to be interesting to see those two interact.
It seemed like, and what they said was they tried to pick people that were real people and not just this stereotypical stereotype that Survivor tries picking for every season.
Yeah, I mean, then again, they always do have kind of like character tropes. Like, you have like the older woman character or like the motherly figure. We have like the try hard.
But to be fair, it's what's her name? Janet, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
She's the oldest woman that has played in like years.
Oh yeah.
In like 20 seasons or something like that.
And that's gonna be interesting because she is she's a lifeguard and she is older than a lot of the other competitors, and therefore
she's either going to be an early boot or probably make it.
Speaking of which,
yes,
I think it's time we go to our draft.
Yes, here we are. We are going to pick 10 people each in order. By the way, we haven't decided who's going first and who's going second.
Who's going first? I thought it was. Oh.
Yeah, I have a coin flip on my phone. So I'm gonna press the button and you're gonna call heads or tails, okay? Okay, and go.
Tails.
It's tails. Okay, that means you get to go first.
All right, so we're just doing the top 10 or the top 20?
We're going through all of them.
All right,
so we're each gonna have 10 people.
So, I feel at the number 20, or wait, hold up. As in, there are 20 contestants.
Yes. So pick who you think is gonna win.
How I think is going to win?
Yes.
I believe it's going to be Tommy Sheehan.
Ah, damn. I like Tommy.
Well,
yeah.
Here's how I think, because Survivor, it's evolved into a game where the big powerhouse players are the biggest threats, and the people that are leaders are also big targets and big threats. Tommy seems like he has that fun-loving nature where he's not going to take the leadership role. He also, because I was reading like his little bio, he also seems like someone that's going to play more behind the scenes rather than be like in your face about it. And I feel like, especially in the late game, we're going to see him do more like, looking for the idols or like, I feel like he's going to be a sleeper threat.
Yeah, I definitely liked him. To be honest, one of my friends in high school, his name was Sheehan, and he had red hair, and he just reminded me a lot of Tommy Sheehan. That's really it. I have seen some promos on like Facebook with him being the front guy, which usually means he's going deep in the game.
Oh yeah, I definitely think he's a likable guy, which also helps, like for winning, because at the end of the day, as we've talked about before this video, if you make it to the end and you're not likable,
you're not.
That can
odds
kind of hinder.
Yes,
whether or not you're going.
You have less likely of winning.
Like one of the mentors, Boston Rob. He could have won All Stars, but he burned a lot of bridges along the way.
Yeah. And then Redemption Island came along and it didn't matter because he just
it was
completely destroyed because he was with a bunch of new players.
Yeah, and it was pretty apparent that he brought those people to the end.
Yeah, exactly. Like who are you going to give it to, Philip? Okay, that's a good pick. Yeah. My first pick is Karishma.
It's a solid choice.
Yes. I think that she's going to be like a Natalie Anderson. She's going to be very quiet and everything, and then near the end of the game, she's going to just strike and really come for everyone's throats.
Because I do definitely think she's going to make it to the merge and everything.
Yeah.
She is one of the personal injury lawyers, and she is. I feel like she might try and get the leadership role early on, which makes it. Sometimes a huge target, and that can play out in so many different ways where you might be, an early out when it comes to the merge, or like you get to like the 6-7 player mark and then it's like blindside. So yeah.
But I think that she has good potential overall, compared to everyone else. Okay, do you want to go for your second pick?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Missy Bird, and part of the reason, one, paying respect to like the veterans, she's an Air Force veteran, and she is young, which means she might be underestimated.
Yeah.
Because she's 24, she's pretty much around our age, and when you're one of the younger contestants, you're not as big of a threat as like someone like in their 30s, because usually a lot of the strategic threats are, like closer to like mid-20s or like early 30s.
Yeah.
Around that ballpark. And also because like she's a veteran, she seems like she's tough. She'll make the hard decisions, and yeah, I think she'll definitely make it far in this game.
Yeah, I definitely liked her. She was definitely high up on my list. And the fact that she's literally just coming out of the army and then going straight into Survivor, like she's going to already be fine tuned into the game.
Oh yeah, and you know when it comes to those instincts,
I think she's definitely going to have one of the stronger pre-merges in the game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anything after that because then everyone's going to be at that point. But
oh yeah, but I think she can play her cards right because she also have that like aspect where I don't think she's going to be a leader, but she's going to be playing some power moves behind the scene, or like if she's like at the bottom of something, she seems like someone that might flip the switch.
Yeah, she kind of reminded me a bit of Laurel, though. That's the only thing that kind of made me not want to have her top, is that she's going to probably get really deep, but I could see her going to the end and then not getting any votes.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Okay. Here comes my second pick. Lauren Beck, the nanny. I really liked because in the preview of Survivor 39, she has a little conventional, and it's all just about how she's not afraid to cut anyone's throat near the end, even if they're their closest ally. And a lot of people, I like just knowing it, she's a nanny. She's probably going to be fine as long as I become friends with her. She's going to take me to the end.
The one downside is because she is a nanny, because the early game is where they weed out people they might see as weak, and around pre-merge, that's when they start hitting the heavy hitters and stuff like that. I feel like she might either make it far in this game,
or she's going to be one of those people,
one of those early outs,
in like
because
the first
she's
four.
Underestimated to the point of like she might be viewed as a liability.
I can see that, but I have faith in Lauren Beck, the nanny.
We shall see. I think her social game is going to get her far.
But, yeah, definitely.
It all depends on the circumstances. All right.
Okay. You get your next pick.
All right. My next pick is Dan Spilo.
Really?
Yes.
I had him pretty far low on my list.
Well, part of the reason is, so for those of you that don't know, he is a talent agent, and he represents some pretty decent people. Like, let me see in my notes. He plays he represents one of the brothers from Supernatural.
Okay.
So pretty high up there. Also, Joey King, who she's a new up and comer coming, and Cal Penn, who Harold and Kumar. So like he's pretty good at what he does.
So you're
no,
you're forgetting him.
So like, cause like as like a talent agent, you have to like understand like how people are in a sense of like what are they selling, and you have to be like and analyze who they are as a person, how like they can use them to like further their careers, because when their careers are furthered, your as a manager, yours gets furthered. And so I feel like he'll make it convincing on what to do with certain people, on how to bring their game up as well as
So you think he's going to be the mentor that's not the mentor?
I feel like he might be. Let's say if there was an alliance of 5, you have the leader. I feel he'll be more like the consultant, maybe the one pulling strings.
Okay, so like the Mike White of the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely see that.
Yeah, as long as he cuts out the Nick Wilson of the group, he'll be fine.
We'll see.
Okay, nice. Okay, well, moving on to my next pick, I have Jamal Shipman. He just kind of seems like a cool guy. He's a college administrator.
Yeah.
Like if he got to the end, I'd probably vote for him.
I know, he does seem like a nice guy. I feel it might hinder him maybe a little bit in the beginning, because sometimes the whole saying nice guys finish last. I mean, the one of the great things he has going for him is he's a big guy in like early game.
Yeah.
That can really help you out.
Yeah. He's probably at least going to make it to the merge. There's definitely a few people on here who I think are going to make it to the merge, but then are immediately going to be targets.
I think he might be I think maybe, I don't know, like, he might be a target when it comes to the pre-merge, like...
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Because, you know, like, once you get to, you know, like, 15, 14 people, then it's like, okay, we're about to hit the merge.
So then take out some of the targets at that point.
Yeah, because, you know, definitely when it comes to, like, endurance or strength, he might have, like, a big edge.
See, I have a feeling that he's at least making it, like, top 6.
Alright.
At that point, you never know in Survivor, but I feel like he can make it top 6 pretty easily.
Possibly. Alright, next on my list is Elizabeth Beasley.
She was my next pick.
Oh! So I guess we're pretty much on the same page.
Yeah.
She is kind of a triple threat in the sense of, like, she'll probably have a great social game. She's an Olympic medalist, so, you know, obviously she can do some of the physical challenges. I mean, Olympic medal, am I right?
Yeah. But to be fair, Olympic medalists have not had the best career on Survivor.
True.
But there was Crystal Cox in Gabon who, I mean, she was an Olympic medalist, but she wasn't very good at challenges at all.
Fair enough. I mean...
and then there was that Katrina in season 35.
Who
went off first.
I mean, you never really... Like you said, you never really know.
You never know.
But I feel like once she finds her group, she can do pretty well.
She definitely looks like she's stronger, like, socially than those other girls. So I definitely have high hopes for her.
Okay. Also, sometimes having the all-American vibe helps you with these, especially in social games of, like, who to trust and stuff like that. So people will be like, oh, we can trust her, you know, she looks good. So she looks very loyal. So, like, I think she'll be able to build alliances that way.
Okay, nice. My next pick is a bit of a wild card.
Ooh.
Ronnie Barda, the professional poker player.
Interesting. Alright, the thing about poker players...
They have not done very well in Survivor.
That's one thing. Another thing, some of them can be very, very cocky as well.
Yeah, and conceited.
So it can always vary how they do. I feel like, you know...
Now, yeah, I have heard of Ronnie Barda. I don't follow the poker scene, but I have heard of him. So that means if any of these people follow the poker scene at all, they definitely know who this is.
Alright, so fill me in, because I basically just know what I saw on the CBS website.
Yeah, I basically know the same thing. I just know that he's a professional poker player, and he looks like a cool dude. And I believe he's won some pretty big poker championships.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about all I really know.
I definitely feel... I feel he'll make it to the merge, but I do feel he might be an early out because he does seem like a threat. I see him, I'm like, all right, he's got you know, good muscles, and you know,
but
poker players.
Garrett also had good muscles, and he went out seconds. But Garrett was all over the place.
Yeah.
It was entertaining, but
True. Well, hopefully, since he has won some really big tournaments, he knows, you know, to keep a poker face.
Yes, exactly, and you know, not go for everyone at the same time. Okay, on to the next pick.
Next one, I feel Vince.
Vince, really?
I feel, he could be potential early out, but I also feel like, kind of like how I was saying about Elizabeth, where, you know, like, oh, he seems like he could be loyal to someone's cause. I feel like, you know, he's the underdog out of everyone.
Okay, because I put him last.
Really?
I think he's getting the Jonathan Hurley edits, which is, you know, it's this thing that's going on ever since the Jeff Varner incident from Game Changers, is whenever you have someone from that community, you give them a lot of screen time, but they're not going to go and win. They're getting like a winner's edit, but they're not the winner.
All right,
and I think that's going to happen with Vince.
That's fair. I don't think he's going to win per se.
Yeah.
I think he'll do pretty good. I think he will make it to the merge, and he might be brought because could be a coattail type of thing, but I feel like near the end he might, you know, be much more open to, you know, flip the switch and get rid of big threats.
I definitely think he's making the merge. I just don't think he's going to win. I think he has 0% chance of winning.
now he's
Yeah.
gonna win because you said 0.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
That's
Jeff
how
Probst, yeah.
The universe does that.
Okay. Well, good on you for picking them. I'm going to go with Tom Laidlaw.
Tom Laidlaw.
He is the first Canadian to play Survivor.
Props.
And he is an NHL player, and he looks like an NHL player if you've ever seen one.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Like I feel he might. I feel because he does come off big and he might be aggressive. I don't know how he is as a person, but it might be the same thing how we were talking about like Janet earlier, where like he's gonna be like the oldest one out of a bunch of people. He might want to try to do a leadership spot, and that might cause conflict early on. So I think he might be lower on the list for me, but I do think he will shake up the game a little.
Yeah, I think that he might be kind of like a Joe Del Campo from Kerrang, where he makes it pretty far because other people will kind of help him, and then it's all up to him at that point on being able to slit the people who've gotten their throats.
Oh yeah, that's we'll see. I mean, like, because also he's a big guy. He might, like, they'll probably want to keep him around in the sense of, like, physical stuff, like if they have to lift a log or something.
I definitely don't see him. I mean, he might be one of the first boots because he is the older guy.
Yeah.
That's always the thing is, like, the first boots or so is always based on age for some reason.
Well, I mean, I think they're a little foreshadow of, like, who my last spot is, but I do feel like that is like a thing of like they are usually underestimated, and usually they are like we got to keep it young, we have to keep the tribe strong, but maybe the fact that he has a history in hockey might help him out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I think it's going to be entertaining TV.
Oh, yeah.
I think at the very least he's going to have some funny sound bites coming out of him, and I'm just excited for that.
Definitely.
Okay, on to the next pick.
My next pick is Molly.
Molly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, she's, law student, and I feel like she's a bit of a fighter. I feel like, she might get into a situation where cards are going to be stacked against her. She's going to be, on the wrong side of a 7-5 alliance and stuff like that. And then she might try and she won't give up. She's going to be one of the people that like talks and like tries to find a way to like get people over to her side.
Okay, I don't really know too much about Molly, honestly. She's one of those people who I kind of skimmed over. I didn't have the best hopes for her. I think she might be one of the people who gets a purple at it, possibly. But yet again, you never really know.
True. I guess I don't think she's gonna win, but I think she will do stuff in this game where it might maybe take out a big threat, or like she might be, like how we were talking about. Usually in Alliance, there's the leader, the consultant, or the person doing stuff behind the shadows. She might be like a follower, but I feel like she might, I think she has it in her to be like, look, I need to, make my resume a bit bigger in this game. Yeah. So take out a big threat.
Okay, I mean, fair points. I don't think she's got the best chances, but of course we are now pretty deep into the draft.
Oh, yeah,
the people here have a very little chance of winning. We're kind of just picking people who are most likely going out.
Yeah.
We've definitely picked someone that's going out like pre-jury, like most likely.
Oh yeah. But we still got 14 more or 8 more 14. 8 more contestants to go. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going with Elaine Stout.
Elaine Stout.
Nothing more than I think that she's going to be one of the tougher females. Jeff Probst did say that this is one of the seasons with the most toughest females.
Yes.
And I think that she's one of those people who is going to hold it, even with like the Olympic medalists and the people who just came out of the Air Force or whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say. I feel like someone like that. I guess it depends on the tribe chemistry, because sometimes when it comes to, if we're talking early outs, it depends on the tribe chemistry,
Yeah.
Because I remember one season, they were talking about the popular kids, where like you have the two, gorgeous women, and the guys that are muscular and look handsome, popular kids. And they actually were the first boots, or starting to be the first boot in their tribe, because like, oh crap, like they're gonna be a threat. They think like they have it all. Let's get rid of them so we stay together.
Yeah, that's fair points. Yeah, I think that if she finds the right people, she can be the muscle of the team. She's also a factory worker, so
she works hard.
Yeah,
and I feel like that'll be like an asset around, camp and stuff.
Yes, she's not going to just be sitting, watching everyone else make everything, whereas a lot of other people often do. Especially once the camp's made, they're like, whatever, I'm just going to sit around. Okay, on to the next one.
All right, so I have Jason Linden, the other personal injury lawyer.
Okay.
And I feel he has, it's kind of like, he has a decent, physique, and, he has like the mindset of like, all right, I know, law. And the lawyers can be, pretty good, strategic players, because obviously, like they're trying to convince people that their client is guilty, or that the other person is guilty of this. So therefore, they're always like a strategic threat. And I feel like, he might not necessarily win, because one thing that Karishma has over him is that Karishma might be underestimated.
Yeah.
While him, like, he looks like the full package.
Yeah, he has that intimidating vibe to him. So at the merge or whatever, he'll immediately be a threat. Where if she makes it to that point, she's going to make it a little further because of that.
Yeah, I definitely see him trying to do the leadership role as well.
Okay. Yeah. I had him a little lower, but it's not that I didn't think he was going to win. I just think that there's other people who have a better shot at what he is bringing to the table.
Fair enough.
Yeah. He could do very good. He could be like a Chris Underwood.
Yeah, possibly. Or
but there's no edge of extinction, so we can't really go for that.
No, he just has to rely on
good old Survivor.
And Rob and Sandra.
Yep. Oh boy. Okay. I'm going with Kelly Kim, the NBA student. So I think that this season a woman is winning. I am like 85% sure that a woman is winning. So I have mostly picked women up to this point. I have a couple guys here and there because I can't just go all in on one bucket. But she's an MBA student, so that means she's got to be intelligent. There's something about her that just seems like she's going to be underestimated as well, just like Karishma.
Yeah, I feel like I can see the fighting spirit in Karishma's eyes.
Yeah.
Where like I know there are a lot of gears working in the back of her head.
Yes.
While with
she's more likely to just kind of.
She has kind of like an innocent vibe to her.
Yeah.
Because she does look smaller and stuff like that. She could be. Like I said, I feel like this could be a thing of like whose team wins and composition of like the tribe itself. Of, like, she might go far, but at the same time, like I feel like she might not have to fight in the beginning to like prove her worth.
Yeah, I could see she being one of those people that knows that she's being targeted, and then just won't fight super hard to get herself back into it. She'll like maybe just have like one conversation. Maybe it'll turn out, maybe it won't. But you never know. You never know in Survivor. Yep. Yeah. Okay, on to your next pick.
Okay, so because trying to figure this out.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like think who we've crossed off. Yeah.
Let's see. My last person was. Well, it was Jason. So let's see. Have we talked about Jack yet?
We have not. He was my next pick.
Okay, that'll be fine. All right. Well, because he is a younger contestant, like that can go one of two ways. It's like oh, he's inexperienced, so he might not, bring much to the table. He might not have real world, like that kind of like real world thing that, gives some other characters like an edge on the show because they're like, oh yeah, I've met this kind of person in my life. Him, like the world is brand new, which it's cool, but you can put a target on your back like it did with his name has escaped me, but in season 7, no 18 with Coach and
Stephen Fishback.
No, it's I know he was pre-merge.
Pre-merge. Oh, okay. I don't know a lot of the pre-merge and Token teams.
Which is like unfortunately because like he did have that young vibe going about him.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now too, and I can't remember.
He was on Tyson's team.
Was his name Brandon?
Maybe.
It might have been Brandon.
Maybe.
Tell us in the comments below.
But because like that can always hinder too. Also, as a young person, I can understand we can come off as impulsive or like not necessarily knowing what to do, but I feel that also gives Jack like an underdog status, which can also help out in the game.
Yeah, I think he could go either way. He could either flame out spectacularly, or he could provide some of the best TV of the season.
We just gotta wait.
Yeah, we just gotta wait. He is the youngest one, right? In the entire season.
I believe so. Yes,
I believe
he's 23, so like
yes.
Well, my age.
Yeah,
but,
same. Okay, well. My next person is Nora Salmon. She's an entrepreneur, so you know that she's going to be able to talk her way into what she wants.
Oh yes, because as an entrepreneur, you're someone that is building a business, and we've taken entrepreneurship class because fun fact about us, we know each other from college, and we've taken like an entrepreneurship class in college. A lot goes into it. It can be a lot of tough work. Just
a lot of leg work, and a survivor has a lot of leg work if you want to really control the game.
Exactly.
And she knows how to do that.
Yeah, because she was able to, basically become her own boss, being an entrepreneur.
Exactly. She's doing well for herself, and she did all herself. So.
Yeah, and she is a self-proclaimed triple threat, as in bronze, brains, and beauty.
Yeah.
Which, having, those key elements does help in the game.
I think it would be funny, though, if she gets out there and she just does not know what she's doing at all. Like, it would be really funny.
It's possible.
Because a lot of people who claim that,
I kind of had her, I kind of have her a bit higher on the list, where it's like, I feel like she's going to be making it to the end due to, some, moves behind the scenes, but then people are going to be like, Nora, she's actually the one that orchestrated this, and she kind of orchestrated, flipping on this guy.
Yeah.
I think she's definitely going to be a sleeper threat.
Yeah, I think that she has that potential. She's either a purple edit or she is going to the final 3.
No.
That's how I think that she's going to do.
I also get a little bit of Kimmy vibes from One World.
Oh yeah.
Where strong woman that runs her own business. So I can see that kind of similarity of she might want to orchestrate something, might be the leader of the alliance, which, like I said, always can be risky.
Yeah. But
at the same time, I feel she could do it well. It's just timing.
Yeah. There are leaders that do well in Survivor. It's just they have to be like the best leaders in the world.
You have a target on your back. Yul is probably one of the greatest examples where his first season, and his argument was, I wanted a Type 4 core alliance to bring to the end, and he did it.
And he got it. But admittedly, at that time, there was the hidden immunity idol that could be played after the votes.
Oh yeah, so he
used that
to his advantage
to the point where he could get to the final 3.
Yeah,
because he then even was just like, I can still use it at the final 4. I don't know if that was a thing or if he lied about that. I can't remember.
It's been a minute since I've seen it.
It's that was one of the first seasons I watched.
For me, I think that's one of the first seasons, or the first couple seasons when I started watching back, because my first season was halfway through season 18.
Okay.
So, like, right when Coach was getting voted off, that's when I joined.
Nice.
So
I'm actually a recent Survivor fan because I started at Millennials versus Gen X as my first season, and then I just went through and started watching everything.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, especially once he gets to the merge, that was a good season at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, where are we now in the draft?
Okay.
Is it your pick?
Yeah.
I think it's your pick.
Let's see. Have we talked about Dean Kowalski?
We have not talked about Dean.
Is this who I believe it is? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my...
He's a tech salesman.
Oh, yeah. So, I feel salesmen, kind of like how we were talking about with Nora, they kind of, make their money by, selling their product.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, they know how to talk to people and how to, get people behind an idea. Because, basically, selling something... It's like, oh, you have to convince the person that investing money in this is, the way to go. Whether you're selling, merchandise at a concert or, a $300 billion company, trying to sell, make a murder or anything like that. It's it's all about the presentation and stuff like that. So, depending on how he brings his pitches to different people on making an alliance could help or hinder.
He is one of the people who I know very little about.
Yeah.
And for that reason I had him pretty low.
I feel like also because I feel that since John Cochran, the nerdier types are considered more of a threat than they did, let's say even as far back as even pre season 18 when we're talking about Fishback, he was nerdy. He made it, to the end.
Yeah.
But pre Fishback, where if you're a scrawny guy, you might not make it to the end.
Yeah.
But
that was the problem with Christian in season 37 too. Was just it got to the point where it's we can't let him get any further because he's going to win.
Yeah, and at the end, that's why I think he's going to be. Maybe an early out because he might not be the strongest out of the guys, but social wise and stuff, he might seem like a threat. And it's all right, if we have to get someone out, especially if this season they do a 3 tribes splitting to 3 tribes, which that's kind of
their new bread and butter kind of thing is going from 2 to 3.
Yeah, which I always like in the sense of because usually if it's 10 people, you can just have an alliance of 6 and you're good.
Yeah.
And when there's only 6 people on your tribe, there's not really anywhere to hide.
Yeah, anyone can get taken out there.
Exactly.
And it also helps if one tribe is dominating for the other tribe to potentially make a comeback through that.
Oh
yeah. I do like it. I hope that we don't have any advantage get-ins in this season.
I mean, they usually kind of happen, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're gone.
Well, it might be like Ghost Island where there was a lot of chances because the Island of the Idols where they go over to Sandra and Boss Rob and everything, they have a chance at getting idols or advantages and everything through basically competing in an event or whatever based on what they have taught them.
Yeah.
So that's how they're going to introduce probably most of the advantages and everything into the game. They might have hidden immunity idols. I'm not sure if they're going to have anything hidden at the beach.
Maybe not in camp. Usually when they have an exile island of some sort, they don't really hide anything at the beach unless they're exile island is done.
Yeah, or literally nothing is getting out. The people who keep going just keep failing. They'll just be okay, let's just get something out there.
Yeah, and then there are, because Jeff has admitted, especially with millennials, how sometimes they just hide immunity idols out there just for people to see.
Yeah.
See if they'll get it.
Yeah. Well, I hope that there's very little idols because I do kind of classic Survivor in that sense. It's
Yeah.
it's fun when there's that one big idol play a season, but when you have someone like a Rick Devens just playing an idol
Or
every
like-
time,
Or if in Game Changers, where the famous way that Suri got voted off,
where she's the only
It's
one,
the only one without immunity, and
Yeah.
therefore, by default, she had to
she
go.
had to go.
Like, that was crazy, but
Yeah,
at the same time, it's like, oh, damn.
it's a great moment, but you never want it repeated.
Yeah, because then it's, like, broken in that sense. Like,
yeah,
because, you know, if you have that many, like, idols out there, granted, it does play a key part in, like, the mind games of, like, the whole meta of, you know, like, if that person has an idol, should we split the votes?
Mhm.
All these little thoughts that you have that might switch your decision. But, like, if everyone has an idol, it just
hmm
kind of, it's like, come on, let's get back to, like, the talking your way out of a situation.
Yeah.
Because then you have, like, the higher stakes of,
Mhm.
like, oh, this person's on the bottom. They have to do some real good convincing in order to sway it.
Exactly. That's the good players are able to do that, and less good players are the ones who have to just play idols to get through. Okay,
Yes.
on to my next one. I am going for someone who I think you don't have too high hopes for, and that is Janet Carvin.
I mean, it's just, don't get me wrong. You know, the older ladies can make it to the end. In fact, it was season, I'm trying to remember, I think 25.
Oh, where Denise won?
Yeah,
Yes.
where, you know, like, she could have potentially been an early out,
Yeah.
but as the only person to have been to every single tribal council, she was able to, you know,
Yes.
win.
Yeah, and she controlled a lot of the votes, even though she was on the minority at a lot of points.
Oh yeah, I mean, even when, you know, her team got disbanded,
Yeah, where it was
He-
just her and Malcolm.
exactly, like, she still made a comeback. It's
Yeah.
just, especially when I mean, we're starting out with 20 people again, so I just don't think she'll make it, mostly because the track record for that demographic. It's nothing against her personally. It's just,
I think that she has the highest chance of going out pre-merge, but I think if she can make it to that point, why are you targeting her?
I feel it's definitely, if someone is like, maybe I could use her because she might know she's on the bottom, because anyone that does their research on their demographic might, you know, like, for me, if I were to go on Survivor, they're like, all right, I give off maybe like a John Cochran vibe, maybe not like as hardcore, but like, you know, I have that like young thing, also like wiry, kind of like the other Ryan from recent seasons. And then, like, you know, it's like, oh, this guy, he might be a threat because, like, he has mad things going on in his head. We might want to get him out early. Or it might, I feel Janet might fall for the same thing because her
physical appearance is of that of
Yeah.
the older lady who's going to be like a sandbag for the team.
I'm hopeful because I always like when, you know, the show surprises me.
Yes.
That as viewers do as well.
Yeah.
But it's just track record.
Yeah.
It's just hard odds to beat.
She definitely has. I could see her going out in the first 3 without question.
I guess it also depends on if her team wins immunity.
If her team goes on a winning streak, then I think she's got good chances. But I can't see her being the first one out. Okay.
Alright,
Well, there's the Janet.
let's see. I'm trying to check and see if we talked
Yeah.
about Elaine Scott.
Yes.
We have?
Yeah, I have her.
Okay. We talked about Lauren. Chelsea Walk.
We have not talked about her yet.
Yeah. She's, you know, content creator, digital content creator. I guess nothing. She does say, like, she's a fire, and she does say that she's underestimated. Now, I feel like it's the same thing that I've been kept saying, where, like, being underestimated later in the game is more beneficial, but early on in the game, it puts a target in your back. And, I mean, she seems like a very nice person, but, you know, like, I guess it depends on A, who comes to her for an alliance, and B, just like the situations that arise.
Yeah, she's definitely the purple edit that I have at the highest level of purple edits.
Well, I mean, also because she is a content creator. You know.
Yeah, hopefully she gets some good sound bites in there because she knows like what people want too.
Yeah.
She should be able to be entertaining at least.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I just kind of get not a lot from her.
I mean, yeah. I mean, no offense to her. It's just I feel it's a thing of like she has to hit the ground running as soon as she get there and make the power plays if she wants to be the if she wants to show that she should not be underestimated. You have to do that right off the bat.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to just kind of like wait for it to happen.
Yeah, she has to act now.
Yes, I agree with that. Is this the last pick also? Are we at the final pick?
Yeah. Do we have Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron Meredith. I believe he's the last one.
He was not the lowest on my list, but second lowest. And part of the reason is I feel, he's a gym owner, and even just reading his little self-biography and, stuff, is like, this guy, he's coming to play big and hard, and you look at him, you can see, like, this guy is going to come and play hard.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like, he might try and claim the leadership role and play too hard at the beginning.
He could be like a War Dog or a Joe Mina kind of role where they just go out there and they're like,
or I can sense subtle Tony vibes.
Yeah.
But I mean, because especially with War Dog, though, I don't know. I don't think this season would have been aware of War Dog because he was 38.
Exactly.
But those kind of people in the past don't necessarily. I mean, they hardly ever make it to the end, except for the exception of like Tony. And his was a huge exception because of Woo. Woo. That's one. Like aligning with probably one of the nicest guys on the show.
Yeah. And
then two, like
he had Trish literally taking out all of his fires.
Yeah.
Like he was just starting fire, and she was like, "Oh, Tony, you should calm down a little bit."
My favorite. It hurts to see him go so early
in Game Changers. Yes.
But it was like, Tony, you and your shenanigans, making the secret. What was it, like, ditch?
Yeah, the spy bunker or whatever.
Spy bunker. Yeah.
He is coming back for season 40.
Oh yeah.
If you, I don't know how much you've researched.
I know for fact that he's coming back.
Yeah.
And so
he's like you have to have him for a winter season.
Yeah, because like he's a wild card, and I feel that everyone is going to see Aaron as that wild card and be like, all right. I think like not the first vote, but like the one after where like he might be overplaying.
When people start trying to go for the resume at that stage where it's not like a safe vote, you want to try to get out the big threat now.
Yeah.
He's someone that is going to be one of those first people.
Definitely.
That's why he's my last one, because I don't see him making it.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
He might just find the right circumstance, or maybe he's a bit more calm and collected than he lets on.
Maybe he'll get injured and do a Tyson and do a Tyson and just be like, I can't compete now.
I mean, at least Tyson won.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Tyson said. He said he was going to go out there, injure himself, so that then no one considered him a physical threat.
Which is smart.
And then he won.
I mean, there are a lot of different strategies, but I don't think Aaron would,
do that. I don't think any first timer would do that.
No, because, well, I mean, the thing about, since we are at the end, we can talk like the strategy and stuff. The thing about people that are playing for the first time is they're not as risky as people that played the game before, because they're like, I don't know, this is my first time. You get that first time anxiety when you play.
They want to make it as far as they can. Because a lot of times, if you make it further, you're going to get brought back, and then you can play harder.
True. Because usually when, people are looking to bring people back for, returning character seasons, or, like, even if there's, like, 2 or 4 people, they want someone that people recognize or like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's that. So let's also finish off by talking about a little more about Boss Rob and Sandra. How much do you think that they are going to impact the winner of the season?
I feel they're going to play a huge part in that because, like I said, they have pretty much all the knowledge that is being given to them, and what they as mentors do with that knowledge. Because, like I said, let's say Vince goes over and tells him like, oh, he's in the bottom of his tribe, he's just looking for a way to weasel out, and then he finds a way, tells him about like, oh yeah, now I have a core alliance with these four, like let's say if he made it to the merge, and let's say Boston Rob and Sandra, they like Tommy. We all love Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's a great guy. Just give him $1 million now.
Pretty much. Should be like, all right, oh, that might not be a great thing because they might not flat out say like, oh, Vince is planning to blindside you, but they'll be like, maybe you should do this instead of that, or align with these people because these people seem like more solid than like if you align with Vince.
Yeah. So how do you think that's going to be played? Are they going to have Rob do more like the physical kind of stuff, like trying to teach them that stuff, and then Sandra's social?
Oh yeah, because the thing about Sandra is most of her wins were based off of the fact of her social game.
Yeah, but at the same time, so I am not a big Sandra Diaz Twine fan.
I mean, I can understand like her first season. I feel like she was a sleeper threat where it was basically when she came into the end.
I thought her first season was better than Heroes versus Villains.
Well, I mean, when you have Russell Hands.
But I thought Poverty was going to win season 20.
I did too. Mostly because...
In fact, I thought Sandra was going to get 0 votes, and Russell maybe would have gotten like 1 or something just because it's like... whatever, but
and that's the thing about returning players when it comes to like winning. It's like, do we? I mean, she got voted out in Game Changers because of the fact of like, you've already won twice.
Yeah. In fact, I thought Russell was going to get votes just because he was the only one who hadn't won at that point.
I mean,
in that final 3.
And maybe if he played differently,
it
got him to the end at the same time.
Yeah. He definitely played more ruthless. Like I definitely think he should have won 19. I don't think he should have won 20. But I do think that Sandra's gameplay of just as long as it's not me, it's not very entertaining for me.
Yeah. I feel, like I said, like it might go to them picking favorites, but it depends on what they do with the mentor role, because like. Sandra herself considers herself an idol for like working hard in the sense of the social game, and while Boston Rob is like, I played 4 times, and on his very last one, he finally won.
It just took him 4 times to win.
Yeah, so
against new players.
Because with the different people coming in, like certain personalities are going to mesh better with others. Like let's say Dan, who's originally from New York, that northeastern, kind of like brotherhood that people can have, Boston Rob, like, oh yeah, he might vibe well with him because they come from the same kind of geographical region.
Yeah, you never really know. That's kind of been the quote of this podcast. You never really know. So based off of just the cast assessment and kind of the bios and everything we've read, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this season?
I'm gonna say 8. Okay. But it's because I feel like, well, one, we're doing this so that brings up the enthusiasm, having someone to talk to.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
It.
I haven't really talked to a lot of people about Survivor.
I know.
Everyone who I know who has watched Survivor don't actively watch Survivor.
Yeah, for me, I know some of our teachers in college, they watched it, but we just catch up every now and then these days. But also the fact that we are seeing, Rob and we're seeing Rob and Cassandra again. And,
and they'll be on screen every episode because they're going to be. They have to be paid so much.
Oh yeah.
For this outing, and then to come back for season 40. That's gonna kind of suck for them because they're going right into.
Wait, it's confirmed they're season 40.
Yes, that's how they got.
Sandra, why?
Yeah, this is how they got them to do season 40. They weren't going to do season 40 until this.
Yeah. Sandra! I told you not to do Game Changers. Yeah. As soon as I saw her for Game Changer, I'm like, so you want to tarnish your perfect record?
Yeah, you've won $2 million. Calm down.
It's like no, like if I was in Sandra's shoes, I would not have done Game Changers in the sense of like, yes, I would have loved to play again, but at the same time, you have a perfect record.
Yeah, and it had been at that point 7 years or so, or even longer, I think, since she had played. So she wasn't in her like peak form.
Yeah.
She did play a better game. I actually enjoyed her in Game Changers, even though I kind of shat on Sandra a little bit ago, because she had to play. Otherwise, she was going to get voted out.
Like, to be honest, like, like she was part of the famous scene where like Malcolm got like when the tribal where the two tribes were merged and it's like everyone talking and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the famous vote outs now. Yeah.
And like even they were talking about on the beach. It was like, we can get rid of Sandra anytime. But at the same time, that's how she always makes it so far.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that... I think now that they know that, they're never going to let her get that far in the game. I think Game Changer is as far as she's ever going to get now.
Yeah, but to kind of like bring back like the enthusiasm of it, speaking of, season 40, a lot of people were looking forward to that.
Yes.
Like, because, 20th anniversary, and plus we have all these big players coming back. Yeah. And I feel like this is the Ant-Man of the Wasp prior to Endgame.
Yeah.
Where it's nothing wrong with, Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I love it.
It's a good movie, but
everyone is kind of like, and what's happening? What's going to happen with Endgame?
Yeah.
Like... Which is unfortunate, but I'm still looking forward to this season.
Yeah, I think I think that they have some good players out there. I think there's definitely going to be some good moves. It's just with the whole Island of the Idols and season 40, it almost feels like there's a bunch of hands coming into the season that don't need to be there. And hopefully it doesn't affect this season too much, but I could see it definitely having a negative impact overall.
Yeah, I mean, it could be foreshadowed or overshadowed, but you never know with Survivor.
You never really know. Okay, well, we're going to be doing this basically every week on Thursdays, I believe.
Yes.
So tune in every week if you want to hear our info on what's been happening with the episodes, what we think, how people are doing. We can mourn the loss of the people who we've picked.
Right. Tommy goes home first. We cry.
He could be like a Patrick Bolton. It could happen. Okay, well, catch us next week, where we'll be covering episode 1 of Survivor. Okay, bye.